Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about parietal bone. We will start our topic with introduction, and here you can see the diagram. The green color bone that forms the side of the skull and main upper portion of the skull is the parietal bone. So the parietal bone is one of the main cranial bone that forms a large portion of superior and lateral aspect of skull. It is a pair bone, meaning there is one on the left side and one on the right side of the skull. Together they contribute to the brain protection, cranial shape, and attachment of muscles involved in head movements. Now let's talk about structure and location of parietal bone. It is located on the upper side of skull. It meets at the other parietal bone at the mid-sagittal suture running along the midline of the head. Their smooth external surface contributes to the rounded contour of the skull, and internally, parietal bone contains grooves that houses blood vessels, providing circulation to the parts of brain. Their shape and location play a fundamental role in maintaining skull integrity and distributing forces in case of head trauma. Now let's talk about articulation of parietal bone. These bones articulate with several other cranial bones, including the frontal bone, as it articulates anteriorly with frontal bone. It articulates posteriorly with the occipital bone. It articulates laterally with the temporal bone and inferiorly with the sphenoid bone. So this was all about its articulation. Moving towards the anatomical features of parietal bone. Parietal bone has distinct features that help define its role in cranial anatomy. The first is sagittal suture. That is the joint connecting the left and right parietal bone at the midline of the skull. Second we have is coronal suture, that is the junction between the parietal bone and the frontal bone. Third we have is a lambdoid suture, that is the boundary between the parietal bone and occipital bone, or the junction between the parietal bone and occipital bone. Next anatomical feature of the parietal bone is temporal line, that are the curved ridges on the external surface serving the attachment point for the temporalis muscle, which is the muscle involved in chewing and head movements. Now let's talk about the functions of parietal bone. The parietal bone serves several crucial functions, including brain protection, as it forms the upper and lateral walls of the cranium, providing a shield against external forces. Second function by parietal bone is cranial shape maintenance, as it contributes to the rounded contour of the skull, ensuring balance and structural integrity. Third function is muscle attachment, as it provides anchoring points for muscles that assist in chewing and head movements. Fourth function of the parietal bone is circulation support, as it contains grooves that allow the passage of arteries, ensuring blood flow to the parts of brain. Fifth function of parietal bone is suture formation, as it connects with the neighboring bone to maintain skull stability and support cranial growth during development. Further talking about the clinical significance of parietal bone, the parietal bone are essential in head trauma assessment, since fracture can lead to complications such as intracranial bleeding and skull deformities. Conditions like craniosynostosis, where skull sutures fuse prematurely, can affect skull shape and brain development. These bones play a role in surgical procedure as well as like craniostomies, where surgeons access the brain by temporarily removing part of the skull. Now let's talk about the conclusion of our lecture video. Parietal bones are vital component of skull, protecting the brain and maintaining cranial structures. Their connection with other bones, role in head movements, and involvement in circulation make them essential in human anatomy. And understanding their function aids in medical studies, trauma management, and neurological research. So this was all about parietal bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching.